Things change, but Deer Park Natural Spring Water is a constant you can count on, bringing you the essence of home for 150 years and counting. Sourced from carefully selected springs, Deer Park Natural Spring Water has naturally occurring electrolytes for a crisp, refreshing taste. Find Deer Park Natural Spring Water at your favorite local retailer today. After 150 years, there's only one thing left to say. Deer Park, that's still good water.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And legendary actor Donald Sutherland dead at the age of 88. And folks, we are just 1 week away from the first presidential debate. Dominic Carter here with you. If you go online and search Barrett News Media, and it's a site that is about the radio industry. The lead story in today's edition is a piece written by Garrett Seawright. And here's the caption on the story. Dominic Carter makes no bones about his future in afternoons. It's an article that is about this show you are listening to right now. And he quotes me, in which I say, and it's an accurate quote, "The baton has been passed to me. I'm going to take it. I'm going to run, and I am going to dominate. Mark my words." Key word in that is dominate. I know I'm up against some big national names in this hour, but trust me when I tell you this, folks, they don't see it coming. And it is coming their way. Trust me when I tell you that. So Jeff from Harlem, New York, you may recall, he called me up, I believe, last week, and he questioned whether I want to be white. I'm giving him a pass. I'm not going to criticize the young man. He sounds young. The truth of the matter is he doesn't know any better. He's confused. He means well. And here's my response to the Jeffs of the world that question whether or not I want to be white, because I am simply telling you the truth. Don't focus on me. Focus on what's going on in the community. Oakland, California. Multiple people shot. Officers assaulted at a Juneteenth celebration just yesterday.
No, they shooting at each other. This nigga shot. Where's my brother? Oh, hell no.
No regard for human life. To the Jeffs of the world, don't focus on me, young man. Go get your education and look at what's happening in the community. The gunshot that rang out at the Juneteenth celebration. No regard for human life. It went on and on and on.
Shot in your ring. Shot right here. Somebody shot. He down. Somebody shot. Shot hit in the ring, bitch. Let's go. One more.
And the bodies were everywhere, or at least people wounded. This, the Jeffs of the world, focus on me? Well, the mayor of Oakland, her home was raided by the FBI this morning. She just happens to be a Democrat. I'm just saying. Her home was raided after facing recall of a skyrocketing crime. This is what's happening with these progressives. This is what's happening with Democrats. Again, the FBI raided the mayor's home this morning And we don't know what they're investigating. It remains unclear. But the mayor, she is under attack, and she is looking at a recall effort in Oakland, California. All of the progressives, get rid of them. Recall them. They are dangerous to America. I'm sorry. Either change your policy or recall them. If it's possible, get rid of them. America cannot afford this. You know, she's not a mayor, but the AOCs of the world. Folks, that woman does not deserve to be in Congress. Are you serious? I'm not going to attack her for being a bartender in one of her jobs in her past life. Bartenders work very hard. Sometimes they're very smart people. But for her to go from at one point being a bartender to the Congress of the United States, it's an illustration of what's wrong with the country. So something that I can't get over, folks, I just can't get over this. That migrant charged with the rape of the 13-year-old girl, this animal says he recorded it. He recorded himself raping a child, and he says that he did so when he felt comfortable, and was no longer afraid to record it. And now some jailhouse lawyer has given him the con of telling him to say, you have a drug problem. It'll force the system to work with you and perhaps go easy on you. Come on, guy. You may have a drug problem, but you weren't focusing on that drug problem when you allegedly raped that 13-year-old girl and made her male 13-year-old friend watch. Why would you do something like that on either front? This migrant thing is just not working out. How many times do we have to go through this? How many times do we have to question whether this is a good policy for America? It's not. It's not. You have people that have come here. They have not stood in line. They are not doing this the right way. If you want to do this the right way, then America is the opportunity where you can do anything. But you've got to come here legally. You can't just run game, as the kids say, and then you're here all of a sudden in America and free. Everything is free. As it relates to that animal, the migrant that's charged of raping that 13-year-old girl. And he recorded this. I say to you, sir, you may have a daughter yourself. Remember that one day. Remember what you did. And you had the audacity to record it. But your day is coming. Very soon. It's coming very soon. The NYPD chief of detectives, Joseph Kinney, appeared on the Fox News channel discussing community involvement with solving this case.
This is, in a weird way, after a horrific story, Chief, a feel-good story about us, about New Yorkers really overwhelmed by something like this happening and reacting.
It does show that there is hope out there. There are good people out there. You know, it wasn't just the people that made the apprehension that helped us with this case. The community in general, you got to remember, we went door to door, knocking on people's doors, looking for video, asking them access to their private video systems, and they gave it to us freely. The video that kind of brought the case together was given to us from a commercial establishment. So the community opened their doors to us. Tons and tons of tips were pouring in. Each tip was vetted out, and it led to a successful conclusion. Americans have had it. My contention, you're going to see more of street-style justice. I'm not encouraging folks to be vigilantes. We saw with Bernard Goetz where that could lead you. We have seen with Marine Daniel Penny, a man that should be given a medal is about to be on trial for the battle of his life for interfering in that situation on behalf of protecting people riding the subways of New York and the subways around the country, the bus systems around the country, transportation system
around the country. Let's begin with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222 from around the country. We want to hear from you. Let's begin with Linda, Queens, New York, line 1. Linda, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic, and you go. Go, Dominic.
Thank
I'm calling
you.
regarding that illegal animal. All the Democrats who say they hate
Savage, Linda. Savage,
Yes.
but go ahead.
All the Dems who say they hate how Trump talks, how Trump acts. I hope they all watched Joy Reid and Nicole Wallace yesterday. Joy Reid said to her, look at split screen, look at the banner, our banner. It was all about Biden signing that law for the migrants. She said to Nicole Wallace, look at your banner, all about Biden signing that law for the migrants. Do you know what and she turned, I almost broke my own TV. She said, look at Fox's banner, migrant rapes young girl. They're fear-mongering us, and they started laughing.
Right.
Well,
Linda, we don't want that. We don't want you to break your own TV. But let me be very clear. You have to understand the game that's being played. Each person you mentioned, Nicole Wallace and Joy Reid, these are multi-million-dollar talents that are at MSNBC. They have been told, the talent has been told, listen, we're going far left. That can bring us the ratings. That's what we do on every single issue. I don't know. Maybe they believe 30% of what they're saying, if that, maybe 30%. It's about getting paid for them. They're never going to admit it. It's about the hair dryers for the women and the hairdressers before they go on every day, and the chauffeur-driven cars and the multi-million-dollar paychecks. It's not about me or you. It's about them and their salaries, and it's absolutely disgusting, Linda. Do me a favor, please. Promise me this, Linda, that you're not going to break your own TV. Make the promise, please.
I promise, but the fact that they're women even makes it more horrific.
I hear you, but keep in mind, you have to understand when you're looking at the TV, first of all, I'm not going to say I don't know why you were watching MSNBC, and I just said it, but I'm telling you, keep in mind what I just said to you. I've been in that world. I know what it's about. It's about the money, period. And so they're willing to say anything to continue to make their salaries. Thank you for the call, Linda. Let's go to Mark in Kentucky. Mark, what's on your mind?
You're exactly right. We're done. We're done with the criminals. We're done with it. We have had enough. And let me tell you one more thing. Trump, if he says he's going to jail, if he's going to jail, I'm going to vote for him twice. That's what I could do.
And you know what, Mark? I think there are a lot of Americans around the country that feel exactly the same way. Not only making sure that they vote for him when they perhaps might have stayed home come Election Day, but for the first time are making financial donations to the Trump campaign. A week from today, they will face off. It will be no real debate. For lack of a better term, I was about to say Trump is, thank you for the call, Mark. I was about to say Trump is going to mop the floor with the current president of the United States, but perhaps I shouldn't say that, even though I just did, because that's exactly what's going to happen. I will be right back.
This is Dominic Carter.
This is Greg Kelly for Priority Gold. What does it mean to be America's precious metals dealer? It means that you're in touch with the hearts and minds of those who love this country, value our freedom, and want to protect the future. Priority Gold is that precious metals dealer. They've helped thousands of Americans back their retirement with solid gold and silver. Call Priority Gold at 888-506-6439. Receive free shipping, free storage, a free investment guide, and one of the best purchase experiences in the industry. Call now or go to PriorityGold.com.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. Get ready to zoom into some serious cash with Zoom Ball every Wednesday in June. Win up to $500,000. 1 point equals 1 entry. 2 lucky winners will be drawn at the top of every hour from 1 to 5 p.m. to play Zoom Ball. Discover the excitement at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 877-8-HOPE or TECH-NY.
Things change, but Deer Park Natural Spring Water is a constant you can count on, bringing you the essence of home for 150 years and counting. Sourced from carefully selected springs, Deer Park Natural Spring Water has naturally occurring electrolytes for a crisp, refreshing taste. Find Deer Park Natural Spring Water at your favorite local retailer today. After 150 years, there's only one thing left to say. Deer Park, that's still good water.
Welcome to the Flash Finds podcast, the world's fastest podcast where we explore how Facebook can help you with the stuff you're into. I'm Emma Rogue, and today I'm with Megan, a member of the Unity Skate Collective group. So Megan, what's the best roller skating tip you've gotten from your Facebook group?
That's probably to square your shoulders. It took me a really long time to learn spins, and it was because my shoulders weren't balanced. But if I balanced them out, I got it.
Say less. I will definitely be joining. Thanks, Megan. See you next time on the Flash Finds podcast, all about discovering the stuff on Facebook you care about. Bye.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
No, they shooting at each other. This nigga shot. Where's my brother's at? Oh, hell no.
And that was the Juneteenth quote-unquote celebration in Oakland, California last night. Folks acting a fool, a complete fool, and the Jeffs of the world want to call me up. Dominic, you think you're white? No, I worked hard and went to college, and I think that we all have a responsibility to try and live a civil life. And instead of harassing me, why don't you do some of the things that I do and try and help the community, like tutor, like be a role model? You know, you could help out. But I'm still giving Jeff a pass because I think that he's young and I think that he's confused and I think that he means well. But Democrats have completely brainwashed people like Jeff in Harlem, I believe it is. So I'm looking at my Twitter. At X. You can follow me at Dominic TV from around the country. You can post at Dominic TV, but understand I may use it live during this program. A woman I've become fond of here, she makes some excellent points. DMS, she states here, the rapist, referring to the 13-year-old girl, allegedly here in this case, she says he crossed into the U.S. at Eagle Pass with a 3-year-old girl, allegedly his daughter. Where is she? Was she just a cover to get through the border? Did he drop her with family? Did he rape her after he used her to get through? I then go down to Hermit Sal. Hermit Sal says he felt, quote, capitalized, comfortable, referring to the fact that the migrant, in this case, in his confession, told the NYPD, the New York City Police Department, that he videotaped this, I'm going to say it a third time, videotaped this because he felt comfortable about halfway through of raping this 13-year-old child in a park while her male friend is tied up and can't do anything. So Hermit Sal says, put that roaming animal in a cell with Bubba. He capitalizes Bubba, and he says Bubba will really make him feel, quote, capitalize, comfortable. I'm not going to touch that one. I don't want any complaints. But I think you folks know how I feel about this. There's no need for me to articulate it. Let's go to Ira in New York. Ira, line 1, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How you doing?
Good. I'm short on time. Go ahead, Ira, please.
Okay. I'm wondering, though, see, the problem with the right-wing media is they focus on the few crimes committed by the illegals. Sure, you have 2 or 3 horrid crimes. I support the death penalty for them. But you got to understand, you're speaking on a small number. Now, Donald Trump is a sexual predator, too. And he seems to get a pass from you right-wingers. Why is that?
Well, one, I'm not a right-winger. 2, I don't think Mr. Trump is a sexual predator. What are you basing that on, Ira?
The 18 women who brought charges against him.
Oh, so that means he's guilty. I don't know about 18 women, but that means he's guilty, right? That just means he's guilty. Some of them can't be opportunists looking to get paid, right? That can't be, right, Ira?
Perhaps some of them, but not all of them.
So because you feel it's 18, you feel there's got to be some fire where there's smoke.
Right, not to mention the court case.
Right, the court case. I call her Miss Wee. Trump sexually, I'm not mocking this. Trump sexually assaulted me. Oh, well, where's the evidence? Well, how come you didn't scream? How come you didn't do anything? I'll be right back.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And what I was just referring to happens to be E. Jean Carroll. Hey, Rachel Maddow, I just won my case against Trump. You want a townhouse in Paris? Remember that interview where she had just won and she had a lawyer flanked on each side because they had no idea what she would say and the client had to be controlled? That's what I refer to, Miss Carroll. I wasn't in the dressing room. I don't know what happened. But you're in a big department store, and if you're sexually assaulted or raped or whatever you say the case may be, maybe I shouldn't say all, but all you scream, and there's a clerk right there, and it's Donald Trump, and he has no place to run or hide. But you come back all these years later, and it is what it is, folks. Hey. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Oh, boy, Fani. Oh, you almost had him. You almost had Trump on your mantle, and now it's blown up in your face. And you and your friend, Mr. Nathan Wade, Nathan Wade wants to be a star now at all costs. He's making the rounds of national TV shows, and he went on Comedy Central, completely humiliating himself. He sat down with popular actor Marlon Wayans, and boy, he shouldn't have done that. He really shouldn't have done that because at one point, Mr. Wayans stands up after Nathan Wade mentions the word positions, and boy, he shouldn't have done that. Because Marlon Wayans literally stands up and starts doing sexual positions, insinuating the possible positions that Mr. Wade, who was he was married at the time and left his wife, and positions that he and the district attorney engaged in. You're about to hear the voice of Nathan Wade sitting down with actor Marlon Wayans on Comedy Central.
So let me ask you, when old girl was like, hey, babe, you want to be in charge of this prosecution of the president of the United States who did this insurrection? Did you think, like, this could get messy? Or you was like, nah, I'll be all right.
We did not have that type of relationship at the outset, and we were interviewing other people for the position.
What position was it?
It was the position of special prosecutor.
Did that position look like this? Or did that position look like this?
And if you go online, that's a Comedy Central skit in which Nathan Wade, the district attorney's friend, sat down and actually did this interview with him where they're mocking him, humiliating him right to his face. But I guess Mr. Wade doesn't care about that anymore, I guess. And Fani Willis, she's got bigger problems, bigger fish to fry than her boo, Nathan Wade. And this continued on Comedy Central. And again, when the actor Marlon Wayans, comedian, when he said the word positions with Nathan Wade sitting right there, he literally gets up and bends into two different sexual positions, asking Mr. Wade, were those the sexual positions with the actual district attorney? The skit continued.
How many district attorneys you be smashing in cabins?
0.
Is it Airbnb or Verbo? Where you be getting all these cabins from? That's what my people want to know.
Where do I get them?
All right.
Poor Nathan Wade. Why would you sit down to be humiliated like that on national TV? But hey, you know, you were going to be the lead prosecutor against Trump out of the Georgia case with no experience. And your girlfriend said, I don't mind the fact that you're married. I want you. And boo, I'm going to show you how much I love you. I am going to make you the lead prosecutor with no experience. And yes, you're going to make more than the other prosecutors on the case. Remember that? I haven't forgotten that, Miss Fani. You paid your boo more than the other prosecutors that happen to be white, right? And then your boo took the money and traveled the country on trips with you. And I know, Madam District Attorney, you paid him back in cash. I know. People are not being fair to you, Madam District Attorney. Let's go to Joe in Mount Sinai. I believe that's New Jersey. And what's on your mind, Joe?
It's Long Island, but
Long Island. Okay, it should have said that on the screen here. Go ahead.
Mr. Ward is like he's auditioning to be like a straight man, and they could have a comedy team, Assy and Ward. It would be like Burns and Allen.
Wait, are you referring to Nathan Wade? Who are you referring? Okay,
Wade,
okay.
And Assy and Wade, Fannie and Wade.
Okay, all right. What was the point you wanted to make this afternoon?
The point I wanted to make is they're worried about everything else, but somebody comes in here and kills our children, rapes our children. The president says, how many of our people do it? Well, you know what, Mr. President? We're stuck with the scum we have. We don't need to import more. We have plenty here already. We can't.
Wait, Joe, the only thing I disagree with what you just said we're stuck with the scum that we have. Why are you being so nice?
Well, with the ones that we have that were born here and have citizenship, we have to deal with them.
Okay.
But this is the deal. Mr. Biden, I don't know what you're thinking, but this is all going to blow up in their face. People are tired. They don't want to lose their standard of living. They don't want to be harassed. They don't want to worry about their children. This is all baloney. It's time to wake up. And there's people on the other side that think this is totally normal. And I don't understand it. It's time.
You raise an excellent point there, Joe, because I don't see, unless you're one of these nut jobs that believe that, progressive, same thing, that believes that there's enough government dollars to take care of everything, and you think it's an unlimited pot. I don't see how you could see this from the other issue, unless from the other side, unless America is not in your best interest. I mean, how could you support this? Meaning this migrant thing. Americans are losing their homes. I haven't even focused on the squatter issue across the country. So Joe, deal with me for a second here. If you're on the other side of this issue, how would you, if you support the migrants coming here, how would you argue that point?
I wouldn't argue it because it would be a sin for me to argue it. I was a descendant of one of the greatest Americans that ever came to this country.
I hear you, Joe, and I like the way you answered. Because, hey, Joe, you know what?
Even do that.
You know what, Joe? It was a trick question. I wanted to see what you would say, and you passed with flying colors. That you won't even attempt to argue from the other side because there is no argument to be made from the other side. And you're correct, Joe. Thank you so much for that call. I don't get it, folks. Sometimes I just want to bang my head on the table. I don't get it. Trump is right. Round them up And bye-bye, you are the weakest link. You have got to go, migrants. Yes, there may be some good ones amongst you, but and maybe they can stay. But for the most part, but you've got to do this by the books. It's got to be done right. You have got to go. No other way to state this. Let's go to Joe, line 1. Joe, what's on your mind? And by the way, folks, coming up, he's standing by and ready to go. Guardian Angels Curtis Sliwa will join me at about 50 minutes past the hour in about 7 minutes from now. Joe, what are your thoughts? What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing, Dominic? Listen, great show.
Thank you.
New caller. Now,
thank you for that.
I kind of had a bit of a novel idea. It wouldn't happen under this administration, obviously, but all the migrants coming over, no patriotism, they need to earn citizenship or leave the country. How about the military needs people? How about we enroll them in the military, give them 2 years, earn their citizenship?
Now, Joe, I say this with much respect, much love going out at you, and thank you for being a first-time caller. With the thugs, I'm not referring to all migrants, the thugs that are beating up police officers, raping women, blah, blah, blah. You think that these lazy animals are going to actually go into the military and have to work?
No, I'm not saying that. I said instead of deporting them, which would be a major task and I don't think could really happen, enroll them, when we do find where they are apprehendable, whatever, enlist them into the military, give 2 years to the country, and
so sort of like Israel,
and well, kind of, but it would also vet them. Hey, this guy's no good.
You're right. You're right. I like that now.
On them, see what they're all about.
I like that now. I really like that now because right now the only vetting process we have is which thug tattoo they happen to have on their body. That's the only, and the agencies around the country generally under progressives don't cooperate with ICE. My answer, Joe, I like your idea. My idea is they are fearful of ICE. Let ICE do what they do. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Judith, line 4, Brooklyn, New York. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. First of all, congratulations. Okay,
thank you.
Well
thank
deserved.
You. Thank you.
Well
and
deserved.
Judith,
Absolutely.
thank you. And for my midnight show, Sunday night starts Sunday night starts the national syndication at midnight. So we're excited around here, and thank you. Go right ahead with your comment.
When do you go to sleep, Dominic? I just want to know.
That's a good question. So the folks here, they have been very, very good to me from Dan in engineering to Chris Libertini that does the promos and makes me sound smart and makes me look good and so on, to everybody around and to Curtis Lewa and of course to the Casamatides. It starts with the Casamatides. Without Margot Casamatides, let me just say this, Judith, I would not be in this position. But so what I do, so for folks, because I'm being asked this question a lot, and I was asked this question for the article that's appearing online today. And again, that is the Barrett News Media article written by Garrett Seawright, in which I'm making no bones. We're going to get to your point, Judith, in just 1 second, about my future in afternoons. And my point is this: if you're the competition, I'm not being arrogant. I am simply telling you, if you are the competition, I don't care that you're national. I am coming for you, and I am about to take the title, period. And I say that with modesty. So, Judith, you asked the question. Between the two shows, I generally sleep. Between the two shows, between 3 p.m. and midnight, I generally, I'm forced to take a nap at some point. Sometimes I'll get 45 minutes. Sometimes it'll be an hour and a half. And then I'm waking back up and I'm getting ready for the midnight show, ready to go live again. So let's get to your point.
Unbelievable. Okay, Duracell bat. Okay, first, 2 things. First of all, you're talking about this DA Wade, and you're saying, doesn't he have any shame to sit down? I said, listen, Dominic, they don't know what it even means to feel shame. They don't know what it even feels to have any humiliation. It's like loss. All these people, they're shameless. It's down the line. And I want to tell you something, Dominic. I got to tell you, I heard something this morning. I want to thought to myself, once upon a time, Dominic, when they said the earth has 4 corners. If someone said no, the earth is round, they literally killed them. So now I heard something this morning. Sid has someone on, a journalist, And on her own thing, she was basically saying scientifically, science speaking, there are two genders, a male and a female. And for that, she was kicked out of a club and whatever. I'm telling you, it's like the earth is round, the earth is square, and you can't. It boggles my mind how these people that are so insane and they're so wrong, and yet everyone makes them to be right. And the person that's truly right and truly good, they're the ones that are vilified. It's just crazy.
It is crazy, and I support the gay community. I support the transgender community. I really do, because they have high levels of suicide rates, and they want to live their lives like everybody else. I don't support transgenders in schools dressed in full drag, reading to school children. And, you're right. I mean, let's think about this, Judith. So, Madam, you're about to become the first black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States. Please define a woman. I can't. She's a woman herself. I can't answer that. I will never get over that. I know the political ramifications, that she felt that she couldn't answer it, that it was a trap question, but a trick question. But Judith, that's the world that we live in today. Everything that's up is down. Everything that's down is left. Everything that's left is left. I mean, it's an absolute mess. It is time for a break. When we come back, folks, he's going to be here ready to sound off. God only knows what this man is going to say. Curtis Sliwa, we will be right back.
This is Dominic Carter.
And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation does remarkable, fantastic work. And with us now, we have Curtis Sliwa.
Breaking news.
As you know, Dominic, warming up in the bullpen for the Tunnel to Tower last 5 minutes of your show. 3 major stories broke while you were on the air. Number one, Trump has now surged in New York State, not only with black voters, but for the first time ever with Jewish voters who always vote Democrat. If the election were tomorrow, he loses to Biden in New York State by just 8%.
Which is remarkable within itself. Single digits for a Republican in New York.
The most important thing, Jews are breaking for President Trump. That's unheard of. They always vote Democrat. Number 2, Siena College poll. 57% of everyone polled in New York, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, deem the migrants issue a crisis. 77% of Democrats say it is a huge problem. 95% of Republicans. 49% say crime is up because of the migrant issue. And they all say $387 a day that we pay for illegals in New York City to house them, feed them, clothe them, take care of them is way too much money.
So before you get to the third story, one more time on those numbers.
57% deem the migrant situation in New York State a crisis. This includes Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
So that's a majority.
77% of Democrats say this is a serious problem.
Of Democrats.
95% of Republicans. And 49% of everyone says crime is worse because of the migrants. And they all say it is crazy that we are spending $387 a day per migrant to house them, feed them, clothe them, give them iPhones, smartphones, culturally appropriate food in New York City.
Do we collectively even spend that much money on our own homeless?
No, about a third of that is spent on our own homeless. Some of them who have been veterans, who have served in war and peace. That's why what Tunnel to Towers is dedicating this year to is to finding the veterans and to get them housing, because government controlled by the Democrats has completely forsaken them. Dominic, I've told you this story before. I'm over at the Roosevelt Hotel constantly trying to put down problems that the illegals are creating because they won't invite in the NYPD. There is a prohibition. If there's a problem in the hotel, do not call the NYPD. That's crazy. But if you were down on your luck and you were a veteran, an American, black or white or any shade in between, and you were a block away and just said to the operators of the Roosevelt Hotel who get paid millions of dollars at DACO to run it, look, I'm down on my luck. I just want a room for a night to shower, shave, change, and then I'll leave. Are you an illegal? No. I'm a veteran. I served in war. I served in the Iraq War. No, sorry, no room for you in this inn.
You're joking.
No, go sleep in the subway. Go sleep in the park. Go sleep in the streets. You see them all around the Roosevelt Hotel. Our own American citizens.
You're joking.
I am not joking. I've done the posts. I'll share them with you. And then finally,
wait a minute. Before you do the third story, I looked at a video of yours, and it has 1 million hits. Is that accurate?
That's 1 million hits at Casino Park. As we were talking about this enemy of society that the Democrats invited into our country.
The alleged rapist.
To rape and film it in progress and now claim he was under the influence of drugs, hoping he could get some slack.
And so wait, you literally have 1 million hits?
1 million hits on TikTok. That's how sensitive this issue is. This is never going to go away. And then lastly, President Donald Trump has called the mother of Rachel Morin. Never forget the name Rachel Morin. That's the mother of 5, who that El Salvadorian gangbanger, that MS-13 gangbanger, murdered and raped after he had come across the border illegally after killing in El Salvador.
So another savage. But go ahead.
Yeah, but Joe Biden didn't call her. So remember the name.
No, wait a minute. Stop there, Curtis. Oh, you know what? We're out of time. I cannot believe that you just actually said that President Biden didn't call her. We have to save that for tomorrow because we're going to deal with that. I cannot believe you just said that. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.